Robert Alamon. Well, I mean, where else would you go for a picnic but the court?
Hello,
All right.
guys. Good morning.
Hello.
Sorry for inappropriate distance.
All right, apology accepted, but why were you late?
The traffic, we got stuck in traffic. Couldn't find parking or anything like that.
All right, so here's the thing.
Yes, yes,
You need to make sure that you're on time.
yes, ma'am.
And for dressing appropriately, this is what I would always tell my clients because, hey, sometimes people don't have a three-piece suit to pull out the closet, right?
Yes.
Or the tux to pull out the closet. I don't require people to be in tuxes. I don't require people to be in three-piece suits, right? So for this court, the top is fine, bottom not great.
Yes.
If all you have are jeans, that's fine. Don't do the ripped jeans though.
Yes, yes.
All right.
I got the next one.
If you have some khakis, put on khakis. Sometimes your attorney will say, just khakis and a nice shirt and you're good to go. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so where are we on discovery?
I have received a discovery, Judge. This is the first setting. I haven't had time to review all of it quite yet.
Okay.
I conferred with Mr. Edelman about the case. He wants to reach out to the complaining witness in order to make me an offer. I have no objection to a resale.
All right, so you all need to confer off docket. Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset for a plea deadline. All right, is May 1st good for you, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so May 1st gives you plenty of time to
Yes,
plan,
yes.
all right?
So sorry about that.
Oh, no, no,
Appreciate
no.
you.
Thank you so much.
Hope you have a nice day, okay?
Oh, hey, you know what? I always say whether you have a nice day or not depends 100% on you. Don't let the noise get to you.
Appreciate
All right. You should listen to the song by Mary J. Blige called Just Fine.
you. Just fine.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it when I get up.
All right. I know sometimes, there are some young people who've never even heard of Anita Baker. I'm just like, be still my heart. Either I'm very old, like decrepit old.
I
Or
know
either-
because of my dad. He'd be listening to it,
Awesome. Okay, see, you and I we're gonna get along just fine. Pull out some Marvin Gaye, pull out some Temptations, some Chuck Berry,
Marvin Gaye.
some Mary J. Blige, just fine. All right. so-
National anthem.
Yeah. So this is what's gonna happen on May 1st. You're gonna need to come in here and tell me whether or not you've reached an agreement with the state or not, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
And if this is going to be potentially a PTD, y'all need to already have worked on that beforehand, okay?
Thank you.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Have a great day.
Okay, you too, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Is this 10, Norma? Is this Jenny 10?
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
is she asking for what, occupational license? Judge Angelini has already denied the occupational
Oh,
license.
no, Your Honor, we weren't asking for the occupation license. It was,
What are you asking for?
she has, so she was ordered to put an ignition interlock in both her vehicle and her husband's vehicle. Her husband's vehicle, she doesn't operate it. He's a regional manager for some company. She doesn't drive it. We were asking the court to modify the conditions to where if she does drive, she only has to install the interlock in the vehicle she operates, the CX-9.
All right, Judge Angelini can hear it. The motion.
Usually he required it to be on all these days, like whether it's. Did I try to?
All right, who's here on Brian White? Yes.
Oh, good
morning.
Good morning. All right, so what are you here for?
It's an NPR. He turned himself in today on the warrant, but we've actually resolved. We have a recommendation for the court.
All right, so y'all ready to proceed on it?
Yes.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 8045, State of Texas versus Brian Christopher White. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Brian Christopher White
Andrew Harris Edelman.
for the defense.
Tilden Schaefer for Mr. White.
You know,
Your
you're
Honor.
Brian Christopher White.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Brian Christopher White who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 8045 for the offense of driving while intoxicated third or more on November 7, 2022 for a term of 5 years?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
State would like to orally amend violation of condition number 15 to read ignition interlock rather than hand device.
We have no No objection on that.
All right.
On or about the 15th day of December 2024 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Brian Christopher White, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of the ignition interlock device, in that the defendant failed to provide daily samples in violation of condition number 15.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
State waives the remaining violation allegations, Judge.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 15, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 8 years in prison and up to $1,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition 15? Court would find violation of condition number 15 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
So, Judge, continued supervision, permitted conditions to include SRAM and monthly home visits.
All right, so again, any objections to the court reviewing the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Brian Christopher White.
All right, why are you not following through with ignition interlock?
There's really no good excuse. There've been a few automotive issues, but it's, I mean, just not doing it. I don't have a good excuse. There've been a few times I forgot. I haven't been home, but nothing that's excusable.
All right, do you want to go to prison?
No, man. I have a 17-year-old who depends on me, and I'm doing really well. I actually divorced because of her substance abuse, and I've been doing really well.
Well, I mean, you're acting as though you want to go to prison because you don't have any good excuse for not abiding by these conditions. And this has been going on since 2020, 24.
Yeah, there's no good excuse. I mean, my first probation officer, I didn't ask, and she didn't say about how many times I had to blow. And the last time I had an ignition interlock, I didn't have a set amount. But you did tell me when you extended it for 6 months that I had to do it 3 times a day. And
Yeah.
And when it got cold, I had battery issues. I had to have it rewired. And there's, again, no good excuse, but I definitely don't want to go to prison.
But you're behaving as though you do, because we've been here before with this and we're still dealing with the same thing.
You will never see me again. I guarantee that.
I think that's what you said the last time. My mind is a steel trap.
This is my first.
This is first MTR in the court. He
No,
had some
we-
supplementals.
Yes, and I do compliance hearings
Yes.
and I tell
Yes,
people to
Your
get
Honor.
their life in order. All right, this is what the court is gonna do and state your excuse. The court is gonna deny the motion, alter and amend conditions for a 6 months extension. And there's gonna be 3 days in the Bear County Jail starting today. All right,
Where I can help someone to take care of my son.
Is the 6-month extension on the probation supervision or on?
yes, on the probation supervision.
Okay.
And then 3 days in the Bear County Jail starting today.
Is there any way he could like turn himself in at 5 o'clock or?
So who's with your son now?
He's at school.
And who lives in the house with you? And where are your parents?
At work.
All right, so are you able to call them to let them know?
Yeah.
All right, I'll allow him to make a phone call to them and let them know to pick him up.
Okay, can he call his work as well? Because he doesn't want to lose his job.
Sure, Deputy Mejia,
Yes, Judge.
he'll need to call, he's gonna go into custody today, but he'll need to call his work and his parents.
Yes, Judge.
So I'll be there by Friday, so I won't have to miss work next week.
No, you have 3 days. And counsel, you can come back and check in with the court on day 3 to make sure that he's been released.
Yes,
Including today is part of the 3 days. No.
You're going in today, but this is not a full day. And the reason why I say that is because the jail is probably not going to count this as a full day. So you'll be out on day 3, but not at the beginning of day 3. So for example, usually they release people at midnight because of when I'm placing this order and the time it is. They're not gonna release you at midnight. They'll probably put it in like 3 to 4 more hours, but you'll be released on day 3, but not in the morning at 12 a.m.
Okay.
All right?
So sometime Friday, I think is what she's telling. me.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Judge.
Do I make the phone call with him or?
Just speak to the deputies and the deputies will let you know.
So he had the warrant on this MTR, so I'm assuming they'll withdraw that warrant.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. But he's gonna be in jail as he is. 3 days. Cody Salazar. Cody Salazar. All right, where's your client? Oh. Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Or I should say, just fine. All right, so state, did you tender an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, we have tendered an offer. We received the CPS records. We are going through them. We do still need to meet with the complainant and talk with maybe a couple witnesses defense provided. But we are asking for a very quick turnaround because it should be resolved.
All right, do y'all want it next week?
Yes.
Next Thursday, if we could. Judge.
All right, Norma, if you'll recall this for disposition on March 27th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back then.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Juan Castaneda. So is this contested?
Well, it really isn't, Judge. We were here a couple of weeks ago and got a couple of bonds set, and I've conferred with both sides of the state. He's got a couple cases that are pending that we're trying to work out globally. One of them is unindicted. Ms. Jones is going to need some time to evaluate it and possibly make a recommendation that will impact the MTR set before you today. And I would also like some time, Judge, irrespective of that, for a couple different reasons. One of them is we are going to have a hearing to have some witnesses come in on his behalf. So I'm asking for a 2 to 3 week reset of the court to do that.
So is this contested or not contested?
At this point, no, I don't believe it. We're not going to contest it no matter what. I can tell you
All
that.
right, so I'll read the case and then he can either plead true or not true. And then I will put my decision off so you can bring whatever witnesses you want to bring in, because today is set for contested.
What we're contemplating is a withdrawal of the MTR. And a resolution on the other case that is unindicted.
Well, y'all need to, that needs to be contemplated and done today, because we're set for a contested.
Understood.
All right. All right, thank you. All right, David Mendoza. Hello. All right, how are you doing today? All right, today is your plea deadline date. Have you all reached an agreement?
Judge, we got an offer from the state. It's a good offer and we are liking to accept it. My client has a parole, he's on parole. I would like a just brief, if I may, continuance to speak with the parole officer to see what effects a plea would have on his situation. Considering it's a time plea, I don't believe that would serve.
Well, if they're doing it, I can tell you the impact it's going to have, because I've done parole hearings. If he's taking time on this case, they're revoking his parole. They're not going to keep you on parole while you're at the prison for something else. I've never seen that in all my years. So today is plea deadline date. So either y'all are entering a plea today or you all are going to trial today. That's why he's brought over dressed for trial.
I couldn't get a week till next Thursday with my other case to
Today is
give a check.
today's plea deadline date or trial date.
Yes.
Okay, so if y'all are Oh, I'm
We'll
not
go
gonna
check.
try it.
We'll go
You
check.
talk to them. Court is calling 2024 CR 5863, State versus David Mendoza. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Fair settlement for the state.
Robert Geary, Your Honor, for defendant David Mendoza, and we're ready.
Are you Mr. Mendoza?
Yeah.
Did you understand your charge of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 to 4 grams? That is a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in prison. Did you understand that to be the plea?
yes, sir.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, it is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign it in both places?
Yes,
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Okay, yes.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I'm going to request the therapeutic community. It doesn't increase the time that you're in prison, but it's to help you maintain your sobriety when you're released. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
Do better. When you're released, if you can't find a place to help you get treatment, you can always come back to this court, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Joseph Garrison.
David.
Hello.
I'm on Lucas Garrison.
I'm sorry, Joseph Garrison.
Yes.
There's an offer from the state. And
Joseph Garrison, come down. Yes.
I've been trying to get hold of family members. The lines are disconnected. I've conferred with my client. At this point, we cannot reach an agreement. If you can put it on the one last conference, Judge, because there's some stuff I want to look into.
Sure. All right, sir, how old are you?
32.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can set this for a plea deadline date, give me a month setting, please. Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Well, actually, you know what? Let me see. No, we put it for the week of April 21st. All right, April 21st. And sir, if your attorney wants you back sooner, then we'll bring you back sooner.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Abel Clavala. Yes, counsel.
Ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, so there's a judge's warrant by Judge Glenn.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is for restitution. Are there any witnesses for restitution?
Judge, so as part of the defendant's plea agreement, he agreed to pay the restitution. We have received a medical bill from the complainant. Unfortunately, her advocate was out and she was just able to provide the rules to the defense, to the victim today.
Mhm.
And so if he's not logged on, then
Let me see. Yeah, they're not logged on. Well, counsel, have you had a chance to see the medicals? Do you object to the medicals?
We object, Your Honor, without proper authentication, without a proper sponsoring witness with regards to the matter. And this has been, I believe, either the third or fourth time this matter has been rescheduled for, Your Honor. So we're ready to proceed with the restitution hearing.
And Judge, I just want to address that very briefly.
Mhm.
The first couple of hearings that we had were reset because the defendant was in in lifetime recovery.
Yes.
The state did not object to the resets at that time, and our witness was available on these dates. On one date, the witness was present via Zoom and was excused because the defendant was in lifetime recovery at that time. I could have tried to urge that he be put on that lifetime recovery, but in consideration for his treatment, I decided to release that. And so I know that the court, I didn't come before the court at the last setting, and that's just where we're at. I just want to.
Your Honor, if I may respond, the first setting, he was in lifetime recovery and there was an agreement to postpone. It was also set a second and third time. One of the times because Ms. Galloway was ill and I did confer with Mr. Edelman, and he was privy to that information regarding the hearing. And then the last hearing is just simply, it just got reset. So we're here now. I know the court indicated this would be the final one. The last one I could have urged that, there'd be no more continuances regarding this matter. I was respectful of the fact that they had to allow us, and see within a lifetime, to get a reset. So we were working with them as well. But something's got to give at this point, Your Honor. The case has been closed. He's placed under deferred adjudication, and I frankly have other matters to deal with.
All right. So this is what I'll do, because I do understand that there have been reset requests for both sides, back and forth, back and forth. And I understand that the court did say this would be the final restitution setting. But I also understand that there's somebody, a complainant, who has medical bills. And those need to be paid because you're the cause for them having medical bills. You understand? So this,
Judge, and I, yes, and I will, and I want to thank you for giving us the reset, because the complainant, and it's the fault of us, because I wasn't here.
how long do you all expect this hearing to last?
It should be brief.
Yeah,
All right, counsel, are you able to be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. and you will be the only case other than the jury trial that's on the docket, or either I can set it in the afternoon at 1:30.
I could be here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Judge.
All right, so we're gonna recall this tomorrow at 9 a.m. That will be the last setting for restitution hearing. If the complainant is not here at some point, this must end.
thank you, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna bring you back on March 19th. And counsel, if you would like, we can have him appear by Zoom or he can appear in person.
In terms of my client? Judge?
Yes.
Whatever's preferable to the courts, I know that felony drug court said that they were gonna meet with him tomorrow, so if by Zoom, I think that might be better, so there's no kind of, please over here, so he's not, felony drug court's not able to see him.
All right, so
it's just fine.
we'll have you appear by Zoom. And counsel, if you let felony drug court know he's gonna appear by Zoom,
Yes, ma'am.
because I don't want to interfere with whatever treatment or what they're doing with you, all right?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, and
Complainant, you have previously agreed that you needed a appear via Zoom.
yes.
That's fine. We previously agreed to that, so we'll agree to that.
All right, so witnesses and the defendant by Zoom tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor, that works for us.
All right, thank you. And counsel, if you want to appear by Zoom, if you don't have court downtown, you can appear by Zoom as well.
I have court in another, right here, courtroom down the hallway, Judge, so I'll be close, so, I'll be here in person. But I
All right,
appreciate
thank
that, though.
you. All right, Richard Martinez. All right, oh, you can just have a seat there. So, Mr. Martinez? Richard Martinez.
He come here, Judge.
All right,
And he could barely move.
all right, stay there.
Stay there. I get it. Get it. Sit. He needs an interpreter? No, he can't hear, he can't walk.
Okay. Mary J. Blige is playing in my head.
You want him up there? He's coming now.
Sure.
In front of the judge.
Hello.
Gotta stop reading.
Yeah, we do have to stop meeting this way.
No.
All right, so let me just tell you something.
Okay.
All right, I give orders. Do you understand?
Yes, I.
And you're supposed to follow those orders. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're either going to drug court or you're going to prison. Do you understand?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you don't want to sign the conditions, you don't have to sign the conditions, but there are consequences. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And those consequences are a motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand? And then I will make a decision on whether or not to send you to prison or continue you. But I ordered you to go to felony drug court. Felony drug court is willing to accept you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Probation.
He stepped out.
But,
All right, just have a seat.
so, what do I do?
Probation is going to talk to you. And if you do not sign the conditions, a motion to revoke will be filed. Do you understand?
And so how much time would you give me in prison?
Here's the thing, I don't know if I will give you time in prison at all, but what I'm telling you is a motion to revoke will be filed. And then I will make a decision on whether or not to continue you or send you to prison. Do you understand?
But I was not drinking or doing that stuff.
All right. I told you what I told you. All right, so you can either sign your conditions or not. If you don't sign your conditions, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. If the state is able to prove up the allegations in the motion, either you're going to prison or you're going to be continued. Thank you.
But does that mean that I broke probation for not taking the?
Probation, will you please speak to him and see if he's willing to sign the conditions to go to felony drug court? If he is still refusing to sign, file a motion to revoke.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, you too. Who's here on Dakari Jackson? Good morning. Christopher Rivera.
Right here, Judge.
Come down, Mr. Rivera.
Come on down.
Hello.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
The original McCoys.
I was on my way to work.
That's okay. I used to love this television series that would come on called The Real McCoys.
That's my mom used to watch that.
Wasn't that a great series?
Yeah, she was.
The guy who played the grandfather, I just never saw him as a young person. Every series he was in, he was always the same age, but he was in The Guns of Will Sonnett as well, which was a good program.
Well, there was something like that. There were two families that you did back in.
Well, now Will Sonnett, you remember in that program, he was constantly trying to find his son, and his younger son was
Yes.
with him. And every time they would get to the town, his son will have just left.
I remember that was the one, then that,
Oh,
you know, but yeah.
All right, so day's plea deadline date.
Judge, we're gonna need a discovery reset.
Mhm.
I am missing a body camera and he makes some statements in that body camera. And so I've talked to Mr. Rick right there, he's sneaking up behind me.
Mhm.
And that one, and then I need the criminal history of some of the complainants. And then I think we'll be ready. I have an offer, but I'm lacking those two things.
The last setting, Your Honor, was informed that he had discovered for them today. I was just informed that he's missing those two things.
Yeah.
So I will work on getting to those two things that he's missing.
All right, so when will you have those?
What?
When will you have those?
And have those ASAP.
Yeah, it is, what is it, Hollywood?
What does
Police-
ASAP mean?
Soon as
No, I mean, I know what the initials stand for, but what is the time?
Oh,
And why do people say that slow? As soon as possible. It also means always say a prayer, but
I like that version.
thank you.
Wish they would put-
Did you see that, Alfonso? He's just trying to slow it down. It's sort of when somebody says, I don't speak English or I speak a different language, and they just continue to talk to you in English, but just slow it down and yell.
louder, louder. Yeah, that's how I.
Oh, at the end of it.
So,
I guess I just need time to go upstairs and review or look for that missing body cam and try and get that over to defense.
It is Universal City Police Department.
Oh, that could make.
but
it
it's
so-
universal. It's like a universal remote, so it should be quick.
Really?
Unfortunately, they're not as good as other ones.
All right, recall this, Norma. Recall this for March 25th.
Yes, ma'am.
5 days before my birthday.
Oh, well, happy birth month. I
Three,
believe you
eight.
should celebrate the entire month. That's going to be your final plea deadline date.
The 325.
I'll be able to
Yes.
celebrate it at home.
Oh, okay,
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
May I be
You're
excused
welcome.
in?
yes,
All righty.
thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Oh, thank you, you too. Eric Gonzalez Lopez. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there, Judge. I'm
How's
doing all right.
family going? Or
Um,
no, Spain?
Well, my husband's
Yeah.
doing his thing. So we haven't been yet, but later I will have photos to share with you.
Oh, well, don't show me in a photo. You need to say, hey, Judge, we're here, come out. Bring everyone you want to bring.
I'll put you on the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on the door. She's gonna say like, Stephanie, why are you here? I'm like, hey.
Oh, no, I'll know.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 10958A, State versus Eric Gonzalez Lopez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Defense?
Kathy Compton for Mr. Gonzalez Lopez.
Excuse me, don't talk behind the court reporter. We're on the record. Just ask the deputy to move you to the other end. All right, sorry about that. You're charged with aggravated kidnapping. That's a first-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. Did you understand there's a $2,000 fine? If the court finds from the stipulated evidence that a weapon was used, there will be an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There are no applications and there is to be no contact with the complainant. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are asking to do so, yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I would just request that you follow the plea bargain. It's been a very lengthy negotiation. My client is quite young and he was, while not trying to deny any of the responsibility and certainly he understands what he did was definitely not something he should have done. He's extremely young at the time of this offense, and he was one of the lesser actors, I guess you would say, in the incident. So we're just asking that you follow the plea bargain and sentence him to the 5 years that we negotiated.
All right, the court will find you guilty, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's to be no contact with the complainant. There's to be no re-entry into the United States. And there's to be no contact with the following persons. Fräulein, Guzman, Velasquez, Randy, Lopez Benitez, Hector, Lopez Nahara, Jose, Julian Casas Lopez. All right, is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to consider allowing him contact with, I believe, Fräulein, who is his stepfather, and his mother and Fräulein are married. So
All right.
just,
But these are United States orders. You're not allowed re-entry into the United States. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right,
thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're young, but that is no excuse to try to build your happiness off somebody else's misery. The people that you did this to were trying to come here, and you, your family, treated them badly. That's not allowed. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.